This is the voice of freedom. We are not one voice. We are many. We are your voice. But we can only be effective if you use your voice. Your voice. This is the voice of freedom. We will not hide from the truth. We will ask the hard questions until we are sure we have the truth. Welcome to the voice of freedom, where your voice will never be silenced.
But yeah, we're seeing a lot of bad stuff out there, folks, and we just got to get together as a community, all right? Because we need each other, and more than that, when this thing turns around, them people out there are going to need you, okay? Because I can tell you, yeah, they're going to be heartbroken, mate, when they actually realise just what they've done, maybe. You know, not maybe. You know, I'm not talking maybes. I'm talking what they've done, you know? So, yeah, we are it. All right? We're the front line. We're the army. We're the trenches. All right? We're everything in your community. All right? And there's probably people that can't get in here and would like to be here, okay? And those people also, you know? From the community. These guys are going to tear you down from your local councils. Okay, that's always been the plan. Yep. Oh, sorry. Hello? Okay. I'm back on? Okay. Where was I? There we go. Yeah, so these people out here and the people outside the door, people outside the door and that, all right, that's what we need, guys, okay? Because there is a beautiful world out there, all right, and we all knew it. I grew up in it. I'm 60-year-old, you know, I grew up in that era when everyone's back door was open. You know, I lived in Wollongong all my life. You could go to someone's house, get a piece of fruit and a bit of bread, you know what I mean, and no one had to worry about anything, and that's the life that I sort of grew up in, and they got all of us. We had no idea what was going on. Okay, no idea. I read about this, or someone showed me this 20, probably longer. Yeah, probably back around 2000, maybe earlier. Someone showed me this stuff, and I just looked at it and I went, so you're telling me that this bunch of elites and these people that you're telling me want to write this stuff and put it public are going to go and try and pull this off? I went, no way in the world would anyone put this in public and then actually go and put a despicable game plan like this into action. And then when I saw COVID come along, I just went, holy shit, you're kidding, you know? Like, yeah, and that's where I started, you know what I mean? It hit me pretty hard because straight away I woke up. I was involved with American stuff over there, okay? So I woke up pretty quick and pretty hard to what was going on. I've always had a belief in the spiritual side. Although, as I said, I'm a rough diamond, God doesn't look at what he looks at the color of our heart. That's what he looks at. That's what I believe, And I'm pretty happy with the color of my heart. I might upset a few people along the way, but it doesn't really worry me. It's about what we're talking about and what we're trying to do here. So, yeah, I come up through a Christian family, walked away from it because it wasn't for me at 14, because all I saw was the same thing as we're seeing now, folks, and I'm not having to go at you churches out there, but all I saw was people up the front of the church, and if someone squirmed on a seat, they'd look at you, you know what I mean, and you got it dirty, and this and that, and it just wasn't a place for me. But then I found, the Creator again, with God, and then He put me on a boat. You know what I mean? And He sat me there for like 4 months. I left with Mel and kids and that, and I just went on the boat. I went and picked up the boat from down the coast, brought it to Wollongong, and sat on it, and that was just
Carl, can you hear me? Carl, can you hear me? I can't hear you. No. No, fuck.
But unmute. Does that work?
Now.
Look at that.
Now.
Don't get a big head, Ambrose. All right? That clap is because we finally got something fucking right after 45 minutes. Yeah, look. So, folks, we are trying something very new tonight. I would like to thank Guru, who's been holding the fort for the last 12 minutes and the 10 minutes before that and the half a day. We've spent a marvellous day together. So I've got a camera we're working out of here tonight, folks. We are live streaming using a couple of different new pieces of technology that through some very generous donors we've been able to get, which is going to allow us to go on the road and do little events like this. And once we figure out the bugs, we'll be able to punch up all sorts of things like different camera shots. And if you're watching on None 2K at the moment, folks, where's the camera I'm meant to be looking at? If you're watching a None 2K at the moment, then you'll be hearing and seeing the multi-camera switching. But if you're watching on any of the other channels that I'm streaming to at the moment, you will not see any of that. You'll only see what's happening here. We hope to work out these bugs, but I think I've said before, we're trying to do television things on the internet, and the internet's not really made for doing those sorts of things, but bugger it, we're going to bend it. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please thank Guru for his input? He will be back. Sean, we are going to get to you.
I would like to thank Di, our host, who has got a magnificent little place here that we are staying at tonight, an absolutely fabulous place, actually called the Pier House. So we're staying there tonight, really looking forward to coming back and actually spending some time in the Bay. The last time I was over at Fraser Island, got to be around 2001, I think. I went to Kingfisher Bay Resort, got eaten alive by march flies and couldn't get home fast enough, to be honest. About the best thing I saw was a puppy, a dingo puppy that came and played around the pool, but I wasn't allowed to touch him. Just the bloody march flies could eat you alive. So I'm looking forward to going back over there and having a bit of a look too, and really coming and experiencing the Bay. I was in Bundy a few weeks ago, and it was great to be back up there too. So once again, folks, thank you for having us in the Bay. We do have, well, a few different things lined up tonight, but we are having technical difficulties. So some of these things may fall a little short. A little bit of housekeeping. There is one wonderful woman who has arranged this evening, really, not quite all on her own, but she kicked the wheel off and made it all happen. Can you put your hands together, please, for Mel Ragham, who's sitting over here? She has helped us tremendously put this together. In fact, it wouldn't be on, so thank you, Mel. Thank you. Really appreciate it, and smile at everybody who's watching online. So if you'd like us to come to your town, Townsville gave me a call yesterday. We're going to go up to Townsville. Be a Mel. All right? That's all it takes. Be a Mel. Find my email. Email me. Figure it out. We'll figure it out. Get a hold of Guru. He can get his own camera gear and piss off and do what he likes. But
oh. Frozen. Hello? Carl. Hello, Carl. I don't know if you can hear me. It seems to have frozen up. I can't see anyone either. I don't know if you've dropped out.
Yeah, really? All right. You are back, my good friend. No, we'll do that one. There you go. Round of applause for Sean. It's such a shame, mate. I'm really sorry. We gave you such a big intro. I mean, I talked you up, man. I told them how good you are. I mean, you're nearly an Olympic standard shooter. Nearly. I mean, you're an ex-army officer. Thank you very much for your service. And you know how to handle yourself on the wharves. I mean, you know, I've talked you up, mate. The people here know a bit about wharves and water. You might know a bit more about what lies under the wharves and the water, but that's another time. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a bit of background on Sean Ambrose. Today, he has spent the day sighting in his rifle at 500 metres because, Sean, you are doing what next week?
Shooting in the Australian national titles for the long-range titles, 500 metre titles. So,
are you going to tell us what you're shooting?
Targets.
A politician.
Well, I might have I might have a few stray thoughts there of encouragement, but just targets. But I've spent the last few months just prepping, just micro engineering, and reverse engineering. It's just been quite full on, but I finally got it worked out today, just in the nick of time. I've actually still got to reload the ammunition. So I'll do that. I'll do that at the last minute, because what happens is you lose neck tension. So everything's pressure relative, pressure sensitive. So
I'm sorry, say that one more time. You lose neck tension.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you put
I thought they developed a little blue pill to fix that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when you put it's kind of like when you put the the hangman's noose around around a criminal's neck.
Yes.
You want to make sure it's right.
I don't know. I don't mind if they bounce around for a while. Especially the real criminals. All right, let's stop mucking around. You've sent me a whole heap of intel stuff we're going to talk about, but you want to kick it all off with something that's near and dear to you: trade unions.
Yeah, it's the trade union movement. It's not what it used to be. I guess I came out of the the maritime union, so a lot of the people that I was educated by or mentored by, they were educated at the School of Linen in Moscow. So these were men who on the waterfront who were they were our union delegates. They were quite staunch and militant. And then, of course, what happened was the '98 dispute. We lost a lot of those men. They moved on to where we are now, and just reflecting on what has happened with this COVID and this mandates and this new world order. I mean, they've actually waited until the old guard were retired, a new guard come along, and we've had the likes of Klaus Schwab and these reptiles. Yep. And they've got the young global leaders. They've been indoctrinating these people, to where we are today. And of course, you look at the trade union leadership. Not one of them wanted to fire a shot in anger.
Sorry, mate, just picked exactly the wrong time to whisper something to Guru. I apologise. Obviously the schools have been affected pretty hard. Well, I shouldn't say that. The teacher ranks have been affected pretty hard. The schools, in some cases, certainly in Queensland, are letting people back that are unvaxxed in for the jab. But we have heard stories, and I don't know if there's any teachers in the room here, but those teachers that have been invited back have now received a letter from, or a memo, if you like, from the Education Department, telling them that they're going to be docked a certain percentage of their wage for the next 20 weeks because they refused to comply with the directive initially. That's incorrect? Oh, that is correct.
I don't know if it's just absolutely disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting what is happening, and these union leaders, especially the Teachers Federation, they were militant. They were very militant and staunch. I can remember as a young delegate going to the Teachers Federation. They had a club in Sydney. I think it was on Sussex Street. To where we are today, allowing their members to be treated this way, it's absolutely disgraceful. I heard a story last weekend, where the teachers in New South Wales are being brought back into schools because there's such a shortage. The education system is just in absolute chaos, but they're allowing teachers to go back now. Now, the story I was told, this was at my daughter's birthday party. So both of them were teachers, refused to undertake an experimental vaccine, partake in an experimental medical procedure. They've been taken back into school. One of the teachers was taken into the principal's office, and the principal said, "Look, I just want to let you know that we're no longer friends. However, I will maintain a professional relationship with you, but that's it." It's absolutely disgusting what they're doing to people.
I can't believe that. I'm absolutely horrified that that's actually a thing. But But I suppose, why would we be surprised, folks? I mean, everybody else has turned on us. So, I mean, family, friends, but where do people come off with this whole, I can't be associated with you anymore? Do they feel that there's a mental illness that we've all contracted and that they might get it, do you think? We're treated like that, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, not really helpful, Sean.
It's absolutely appalling. You know, this is like what they did to people. You know, like what they did to the Jews during the Second World War. If you look at, you know, what they've done to the Jewish people throughout history. I mean, this is the treatment that people who, you know, made a decision to not undertake an experimental vaccine. This is how we're being treated now. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. So you're down in New South Wales. Who's fighting back? And how?
Well, that's the freedom. That's the freedom movement, Carl. That's people like you, yourself, Guru. You know, Ricardo, Patriot 101. You know, there's thousands of us, Carl. There's a lot more of us than what than what they will tell you. There's a lot more of us than what we think.
Yes, I think that's. Do you get the feeling it's a bit like that fella that was running for president in 2016, and everybody said would never win, and then obviously won in a landslide. Not too many people watching that at the time.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
Not over yet. That's your pick.
He's coming back. He'll be back.
So some interesting things have happened this week internationally, Sean. What's your take on the raid that happened on Mar-a-Lago?
That's the Schutzenstaffel. You know, that's Joe Biden's Schutzenstaffel. They obviously didn't like what President Trump had to say, you know, regarding you know, satanic, you know, cult worship and pedophilia and the rest of it, and they've tried to put the heavies on him. It's just scare tactics, you know. But anyone, you know, like the Don, they wouldn't be leaving any kind of evidence, you know, where it could be found, and if they did, they would have multiple copies of it.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
So we're going to see a lot more of this. We're going to see a lot more of this kind of, you know, the thuggery from the FBI and the CIA and everyone else, you know, the deep state. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very interesting campaign, and I think, you know, there's a lot of players in this as well, you know, and we're going to see some grotesque stuff revealed, you know. Like if we thought now,
we're starting to see some indications, at least, that the swing towards silencing people is coming away from the larger voices, if you like, and is starting to look like it's being refocused on, in inverted commas, influencers, or, if you like, the ones that they would brand fake news. Are you seeing that in the channels that you're looking through?
Yeah, there was. If you've been watching the narrative, like if you've been, we've all been following the narrative, and then the last few weeks, it's really starting to shift. Now it was even picked up. Trump's speech was even picked up in the mainstream news in the US, and it was reported on, and which of course is what brought about the raid.
Okay, sorry, mate. We're trying to get a message from. Well, you'll be pleased to know that Glenn has Patriot 101 has sent a message. Just says too funny tonight. So you're doing pretty well, obviously, Sean. Trying to find our second guest for tonight because he hasn't linked in yet. We're going to hope to talk to Darren Bergwerf from Victoria. They're starting a very exciting plan, which will. I don't want to break his thunder, so I won't tell you too much about it. But you're going to hear a lot about it here in Queensland too, folks, because with a bit of luck, we'll help them roll it out here too. Pretty exciting stuff all around. Sean, I can't let you go without having a little bit of a mention of JFK. For those folks who've never heard of Sean Ambrose or know much about him, this is the man you want to have a chat to regarding the death of JFK. Now, Sean, I don't know that you probably haven't got the pictures close up to show. But I'd be really interested if you could share a small part of the story, because we really only have a couple of hours at the most. But I'm really interested if you would talk us through the weapon that you believe was actually used and how it was used, how it came into being and all that sort of stuff, because it is a very interesting little story. And Sean and I are going to do a whole show on this one night. We have tried it and had connection issues in the past. So while I've got you, mate, that little weapon I just think is the most amazing gun. And you've got some fairly interesting documentation that sort of goes along with it.
Yeah, there was more than one shooter. Like Lee Harvey Oswald, he was there, but he was just a patsy. Like he probably thought he was there as protective service, But the actual rifle that was used was what is known. It's actually a pistol. It's and it's termed by Remington. It's made by the Remington Arms Company. It's termed XP 100, and the XP. That means experimental pistol. Now it's essentially a rifled action in a shortened stock, like in a pistol stock. So the long held theory is that it was an XP 100, and there's evidence there to confirm that there was a shooter there with the XP 100. The caliber is still in a little bit of conjecture. There's two theories on the caliber. One, that it was a 221 Remington Fireball, which is essentially just a shortened 223 or a shortened 222. And then the other theory is that it was actually a 222 Remington, which of course is a rifle caliber. And so that little projectile traveling at about 3,000 feet per second with a 40 grain projectile is what, that was the kill shot.
And the angle and direction you believe it came from?
The grassy knoll.
Oh, the grassy knoll?
It came from the grassy knoll.
There was a security guard in another car.
Shot, there was so there's 3 or 4 shooters. There's the kill shot was from the grassy knoll. There was also an M14, an M14 3006. That's one of the US military's service rifles.
Yep.
M14 was used. That shot was taken longitudinal. That was so as the motorcade was traveling. What was the street? I can't think of the name of the street, but as the motorcade,
the book depository.
Yeah, as the vehicle was traveling down it was basically he was shot from behind with the 3006. It was through the neck, but the kill shot was actually the XP 100, the Remington XP 100,
and which looks like a really oversized pistol rather than a rifle.
Yeah, that's what it was designed for. It was actually designed for executing people in South America that the US didn't want around at the time.
Yeah, designed by the CIA.
Yeah. It's a fascinating.
Fascinating little story. You're right, mate. We'll love you and leave you. I know that you've got a family there to look after, so thank you very much for spending a bit of time with us tonight. And I look forward to catching up again, no doubt. How's the new job going?
No, I haven't started the new job yet. So
I
received an email today saying, she's 99% sure that I'll be starting, but I just have to wait. So. Anyway, it is what it is.
Indeed. Well, fingers crossed for you, mate. Sean's been one of those blokes who's lost his job too because of refusing to go and get jabbed, amongst other things. So thank you for fighting the good fight, mate. And I hope it doesn't impact on your family any more than it really has to.
Thanks, Carl.
So, cheers, brother. Have a good one. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay. Thanks, Carl.
All right. See you, buddy.
Yeah.
Sean Ambrose, ladies and gentlemen. And good luck for the shoot next week, mate.
Yeah.
Hope it goes well.
Quietly confident.
yeah, quietly confident. Good on you. All right, we'll go hard. We'll look forward. And send us the video. That'll be good.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, mate. Cheers. Folks, a little bit of housekeeping. You might notice that I'm wearing a brand new Voice of Freedom t-shirt. Now, there aren't very many in existence. And Mel might tell me where the bag of them is. But we do have a couple. We have one that is going to be auctioned off over the back there. It's a black version of the one I'm wearing. So they are extremely exclusive, literally, because we've got like 8. These are test shirts just to see how they work out and whether or not they fit a fat bastard like me. So that's essentially where this comes from. And yeah, we're going to auction one of those off. If you want a shirt or something like that, then I have some that you can have, but they're just in big sizes. And I mean, triple XL is big on me. I'm wearing a double XL at the moment, I think, and the XL is the only one I've got. So, but if you do want to order one, let me know and we can sort something out. We're getting some smaller ones made up, and hopefully we'll have them in the next week or so we can send them out if you want to get one. Easy done. You might wonder why Guru's sitting there with a guitar. If you're wondering, then you haven't been watching anything, because he's been talking about doing this for I don't know how long now. And God love him, we are very happy to have him up there. So Guru, I'll let you explain the song that you're going to sing for us tonight. Oh, hang on, let me... now you're asking all sorts of... Just tap on your microphone. God. Well, hang on. Shit, we'll fix that.
You going to hold that there?
I'll have to hold that there.
That one's gone, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
More technical issues.
Okay, so I told you that, and folks, we are in a spiritual war, right? So, yeah. You all right?
Let me stand the other way.
Yeah, we've spoken about, a lot of people have spoken about that, you know, this is a spiritual war, right?
Worse?
Worse?
Worse. Yeah, it's working well tonight, eh, Guru?
It's done all right, isn't it? I can do this acoustically.
The debrief tomorrow will be really great on the way home.
I got a loud enough voice, they'll hear me anyway. So.
Well, you want to be loud for the internet to hear you.
Okay, all right. Okay, so, like I'm saying to you, we're in a war, folks, okay? So when we did lose our daughter, I, been, you know, playing a little bit of guitar and that every once in a while and stuff like that, I thought, I'm going to write my daughter a song. And that didn't go too well because I was trying to write this song. And then I went round to a good mate of mine's and he's done a picture. All right, and we've got this picture and it's a picture of God's palm, you know what I mean, an angel's palms, and it's a particular like verse from the Bible. And anyway, it's beautiful, right? And I come home that night and I spat the dummy. All right, and because for 2 weeks I've been trying to write her a song. My mate, who's a pretty good artist, you know, he's freaking good, but he just done this insane picture. So I come home, and Mel went to bed, and I was up, and I was just in the lounge room, and I just like gave it to God. I'm serious. I gave it to him, man. I called him for everything. You know what I mean? That my mate could do a picture, and I couldn't even write a song. You know what I mean? And why did you even? Because it's a bit more. You know, everyone's got backstories in their life. For me and Mel are, like we're blended family, okay? So to me, what my wife had caught with the loss of a daughter was a double whammy, okay? Because she'd already had enough in life, you know, and this just wasn't fair. So I really got cranky with God, and I spat it at him, and this is what he wrote for me. Believe it or not, I didn't write this song, all right? I had the chords and that. I had the chords and that already written, but I couldn't find the lyrics to put with it. And this is what God gave me. Okay, so. Somewhere up above us, Jesse shines a love. Don't know the reason, and I don't know why God said, children are not yours, but a gift from God. Wish I knew the reason why you couldn't see the love that now is given Why'd it take so long for you to fight this battle? Still, I can't believe you're gone. You left us on a Monday, and I'm still in a dream. Think you're coming home soon, but heavens, now you're home. I'd love to come and visit. Yeah, there's heaps I'd like to say. The little things I didn't do that may have changed your day. Your struggle got too much that even your mother's loving touch couldn't ease the pain, and now she cries like rain. You're an angel now, heaven had some wings. Couldn't find a better chick to hear the angels sing. So keep on sending down your love, 'cause we need it today. It's the little things of heaven that will help us find a way. Yeah, it's the little things of heaven that will guide you through your day. Sorry, folks. A little time has passed now, but we still feel the pain. Doesn't seem to lessen, and it's driving me insane. I think a girl who had it all, she was missing just one bit. Couldn't seem to love herself, and she couldn't seem to fit. Your struggles are all over now, angel, you're in heaven every day. Bringing down your love, yeah, help us through each day. My heart will always ache from when you went away. My love will never die, 'cause you shall ride the way. Send strength from above and cover it with love, 'cause we need it each day to be able to say that you're in a better place now. No pain, no tears, no sadness. Heaven must be beautiful now that you're in it. You're an angel now, heaven has some wings. I couldn't find a better chick to hear the angels sing. So keep on sending down your love, 'cause we need it today. And it's the little things of heaven that will help us through the day. Yeah, it's the little things of heaven that will guide you on your way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the guru.
Even though he'd done that for me, you know, amazing, you know. And then this stuff come along, and this is why I'm where I am, guys. Okay, this is why I don't care what it costs. We just got to win this war, right? Because we can't be bullied. In my shoes, anyway, we can't be bullied. All right, That's the remains of someone getting bullied, you know, song on a paper. So yeah, a bit of me and why me and my wife took up this cross and just, yeah, we're in it, guys. I'm here till the end, okay? Believe me.
Thanks, mate. That's a beautiful song. Pardon me. Just try and find the one I'm meant to be on. It'll be probably you over there. All right, folks. Doesn't look like Darren's going to join us for whatever reason, but there are a few things we need to talk about. Who's familiar with the name Dr. William Bay? Yes, so he's standing up and helping us at the moment. And on Tuesday in Brisbane from 10 till 3, his hearing in front of APRA will be undertaken. He is not allowed to attend the hearing that will decide whether or not he stays registered. His solicitor is not allowed to attend that meeting other than by video conference. Dr. Bay isn't allowed to be in that video conference. So Dr. Bay has decided that he's going to have a protest, and he's going to do it outside of 192 Ann Street in Brisbane from 10 till 3 on Tuesday. And absolutely, really, really cool, I think, endeavour. And as many people as we can get there, I think the better, because it's what we need. Those bastards inside that office who are hiding and will not show themselves in public, will not allow him to defend himself in front of them, and will barely allow his lawyer to defend him in front of them, need to be shamed. They need to be outed. It isn't necessarily all our doctors that are helping us lose faith in medicine and medical people. It's these bastards in APRA, because the doctors are being coerced, and rightly or wrongly, greedy or not, whatever, they make the decision. And there are so many people who've had to make the choice to be coerced into the jab so that they can keep their lifestyle or pay their food, rent, mortgage bills, whatever it happens to be. Not enough doctors are standing up, but more and more are. And there is a new group called AMPS, Australian Medical Professional Society, and they are taking on the AMA face first. And we need to get behind these people. You can check out the AMPS website, which is amps.redunion.com.au from memory. And you can join your local doctors, because there will be local doctors who are part of this. I don't know about Hervey Bay in particular, but I do know of many other regional towns, particularly in Queensland, but in other states as well, where there are entire surgeries full of doctors that are unjabbed and unwilling to jab anybody unless they really insist on it. And it's an underground sort of society in those towns. If you're one of the unjabbed and you need to go and see a doctor, you go and see one of them. They're not going to go and see anybody else. So, and if there is a system like that here in the Bay, then find it, because these people are eventually going to stand up and be very important. I still have a bit of a bone to pick with them. It's taken them 2 years to stand up, and a lot of people are going to die. And I'm finding parts of that still hard to come to terms with, but at least the worm is turning, and we can hope that can be the case. If you are feeling like taking the urge to Brisbane, we'll see you there. Dave won't, because he's a lazy bastard and wants to stay in Wollongong. APRA's email address and phone number are online. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, start a ringing, writing campaign against it. Absolutely. It worked for the Aussie Cossack, didn't it? Who sent the Aussie Cossack a postcard? Anybody? Oh, Hervey Bay, you've let the team down. No wonder Mrs. Cossack didn't want to talk to me tonight. That's not the case at all. Things are going well with the Aussie Cossack. Just a bit of an update for him for those that are interested. He's got an appeal coming up on the 13th of September. That will be the next time he's in court. They're going to appeal the severity of the sentence that he got, which was 10 months. And it is an extremely harsh sentence given what's happened and previous sentences on exactly the same charges. They've really done a job on him. However, he's a big boy. He seems to be coping quite well. He's now getting all his mail. They've figured out a system because we flooded them with postcards and have continued to do so. So they eventually stopped delivering them because I don't know if you're aware, in the prison system, you do not get the postcard. They photocopy the postcard front and back, and then they edit whatever they want to take out of that, and then they deliver those A4 bits of paper to the inmate to read. So you can see your black and white copy of your postcard photo and whatever was written on the back minus whatever the authoritarians don't want you to see. So apparently he's wallpapered his cell with them and has been able to change it 2 or 3 times. So he's very happy, and they've moved him back to Silverwater now. He's out of Long Bay and out of segregation in Long Bay. He is I don't think it's a completely open shoe at the centre that he's in at Silverwater, but he is able to interact with other inmates. So no doubt he'll be raising a small army in there or trying to educate them. Did anybody happen to see the chat that I had with Kaz Smith, the financial lady, a couple of days ago? And now I've taken some notes here because I got an email from a person who was quite concerned about buying gold and silver, and they'd had some advice from their financial advisor. They'd watched that show from Kaz, and I preface everything I'm saying with I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just telling you the story here. So they had a chat with their financial advisor, and the financial advisor's words exactly were, yes, the market will crash. No, have no idea when it's going to crash. Yes, you should stay in the market. Now, that was essentially his advice when asked about turning their super over and converting it into silver and gold, a tangible asset that they can hold. So she asked quite a number of questions. So I'm just going to read you the reply that I sent to her in the hope that it might clear a few things up. So, okay, gold, silver and super and the stock market advice. Number 1, if the stock market crashes and you are in shares, you only lose them if you sell. But if you don't control the shares, like your super company, all gone. You wake up with your super worth 80% less than it was when you went to bed the next morning. Your financial advisor is right. A, the market will crash, and B, he does not know when. He also can't explain why the market is going so well. That was his other quote. The market is going really well at the moment. You don't want to get out of the market. It's going really well at the moment. I don't know why it's going really well at the moment, but it's going really well at the moment. Now, when you think about that, every other economic indicator in the world is telling you that the reality of the economy is not reflected in the healthiness of the stock market. Would you agree? So, interesting piece of advice there. I said, look, you can't explain, he also can't explain why the market is going down so well when every economic indicator is showing exactly the opposite. It looks to me like the market is being artificially pumped. Now, remember, the market is not cash, it's not gold, it's not silver, it's not tangible anything. The market is electronic dollars. There's a lot of greedy people playing the market. Super big dollars, lots of hypothecation. You guys know what hypothecation is? Financial hypothecation. This is when the very rich people, like the banks, you know how it used to take you 7 days to clear your check? And they still have 3 days or whatever clearance is. That all goes into a clearinghouse, and in part, we've all been told they throw it on the short-term money market, they make a little bit more money, and in that interim period, they can throw huge amounts of money into the market, and provided it doesn't crash, in 3 or 4 or 7 days, they will clear your check, and that's where you get your money. But they've had time to go and stick it into the market. Now, because the banks band together, they don't put in just your money. They put in all of the money from every one of their branches across this country and wed it to all their partners' banking needs in every other country. And then they hypothecate that money, which is super interest bearing. And they will deposit it in large, very secret funds that bear phenomenal interest. You can turn $1 million into $200 million in under a year. You can turn $10,000 into $1 million in a year and not do anything for it. And this is where the super rich, the super elite, get money just continually coming to them through hypothecation. So that's a big issue that we all have to keep a bit of an eye out for, but I believe that after what's coming, that's going to end. You can also remember that super is 100% invested in the stock market, and you have absolutely no or extremely limited control over your super investment. Now, if you're going to turn your super into which is electronic dollars, which is only valuable because society tells you it is. It's like the money you're holding in your pocket. People, that paper is worthless. It only holds a value because the government says there is a value to it, or because we place, value of $20 on a $20 note. If somebody comes back from government tomorrow and removes our faith in that, then all that money is worthless. And all the electronic money in your bank that you have is not going to be converted into anything you're ever going to get your hands on. Are you aware what happened in China a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks ago? A big bank in China just put out a memo in the morning to all of its depositors that their entire accounts were being assumed into the bank. There was no recourse. They weren't getting any access to their money. The bank needed it to stay alive. Do you know Australia has exactly the same banking law? It was introduced here last year. Yeah, so the bail-in law. So be very careful, because if you've got money in the bank, they can come after you. Once again, not financial advice, just seems clear thinking to me. Now, financial advisors, and I wasn't suggesting that hers was, but some financial advisors get commissions, kickbacks from pushing certain super funds, getting your money invested in certain ways to help facilitate your business and, all that sort of thing. Now, they're not going to immediately start dropping those commissions, because it's going to impact their standard of living straight away. And why would they do that when, it's you wanting to do what you're wanting to do? So there's an element of self-interest involved in their advice, but I simply can't dismiss the idea that they genuinely believe what they're saying is good advice. Because I choose to believe that not all of them are evil bastards trying to rob us off or leave us with no money. So I genuinely believe that most of them really are believing what they're telling you. However, when they analyse their own words, like the bloke that she's been talking to, the market's going really well, but I don't know why. The market is going to crash, but I don't know when. Stay invested in the market. Does that make sense? But when they say it to you in the way they say it to you, it seems, oh, well, yeah, okay, and you look very confident when you say that kind of thing. Well, confidence is great, but I would much prefer, if you watch that show, you would know that I've got a bit over $26,000 in super from my marvellous starring career in radio. And I've essentially given it up. Now, it wasn't until I spoke to Cass that I found out that I could convert that into silver or gold or another asset as a self-managed super fund. And I figure $26,327 worth of silver or gold is a damn sight better under my bed than it is sitting in a superannuation account that if I wake up tomorrow morning and the market crashes, I got nothing left. Did I tell you that my daughter was severely beaten by a man? If you come to our house unannounced, you're in for a very bad shock, and it will be a long hospital stay if you get there. So yeah, when it comes to the financial advice, I think they are kind of trying to do the real thing. But if you think that keeping your super in that super account is better than actually having the hard asset, then I think that's probably pushing the bar for me. I would at least like to have some gold and some silver, something that we can work later on. And there's no point in buying it online and having somebody else hold it for you. So yes, you will have to become security conscious with that kind of thing too. So fingers crossed that we can make that sort of kind of thing happen for people. And Cass, of course, can tell you more details about that as we will have her on again in a couple of weeks. But this is something, if you're going to do it, you need to do it fairly soon, because as we've all been saying, we feel whatever's coming is coming soon. sooner rather than later. And we're seeing things like the raid in Florida on Mar-a-Lago, the ramping up of calls for his arrest. They're angling very hard to try and have him charged and put through on a bogus case that they get a conviction on, and therefore it annuls any chance he has in running in 2024, because you can't run with a criminal conviction. And interestingly enough, he's the one that signed that law into being. So they're making it quite interesting in that regard, the way they're putting it together. So yeah, I'm not sure that there was too much more. We really had hoped that Bergwerf was going to turn up tonight, but is he? Oh, have you just had words? Have you? So he's got the link and is coming in. Yeah, it's all been sent. I will send him another link just in case. No, I went from that one. So Darren Bergwerf is in Victoria. He ran as as an A1 candidate in the federal election, and his catchphrase was, "Politicians don't fix things, tradies do." He's a tradie, so yeah, he's a very good man. God, this is going well. I can't even get his email address to come up. My God. All right. Completely ridiculous. One more go. Sorry, folks. I don't think that's going to work either for some reason. It's one of those interesting nights with technology tonight. So I'll have one last crack at it, and if that doesn't work, I reckon I'm just about to hand it back over to the musicians. Does anybody have any questions while I'm trying to throw this out? I tell you what I'll do. I'll end the broadcast and I'll tell you what's going on in Victoria. How's that? Victorians, you're going to have to wait. I'll get Bergwerf on another time, but we'll arrange him for Monday night. I think that's probably going to be the easiest way to plan him. So Darren, thanks very much if you're watching. That's when we're going to come to you. Folks, Guru, better come over and say hello. Oh. Say goodbye. Shortly, not another 15.
Am I saying goodbye?
Personally.
Me personally. Okay. That means I get to go on eat. Has she? Okay, so the message was, send the link to her. No. We're gone. Okay. All right. Yeah, I've had a spill. Yeah, I know. I've got it all. Look, avocado everywhere. So don't give me anything. So this is me at home, all right? I'm not allowed to touch anything, like dishes. I'm not even allowed to go out. Seriously, my wife just locks me at home because I go out and I can't conform to their frigging rules and crap, and I just get into trouble all the time. So yeah, we try and keep me a bit isolated, and Facebook knows me pretty well. That's about it. But anyway, that's the sort of stuff I do, guys. This is the real me, Like I feel pretty good now. I put on a good shirt, come out here, and I'm actually back to where I usually am. But anyway, look. Again. All right, guys, we've just got to look and we just got to try and wake. I know it's hard, okay, but there are certain people out there, right, that are starting to actually, notice what's going on, and they're seeing their friends get a bit crook. Now, some of them have got no idea, and they have got an idea, but they will not face it. Okay, but there are still people out there that we need to get to, okay, because we need to save everybody that we can, okay, because this is not a game, okay? This is a war, Okay, and these guys and our government and everybody else in authority has actually waged war. Your doctor has waged war on you. Your pharmacist has waged war on you. Your police officers, your Ambrose. Okay? Everybody. Anybody who is still in a position of authority with anything to do with these inoculations, sorry, you've got a lot to answer for. Okay? I'm sitting down home soon, and I'm just looking at getting people to look into it now, but, you know, I'm seeing like some really high-end cars coming down the harbour where I live. And I spotted one of them one day, and I looked, it's like Lambos that I'm talking about, you know, and I looked and I went, you're that doctor from what? You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, so I've got some people looking at it, but yeah, these guys are actually making money on your family's death. You know, these doctors are getting paid well for this, okay? A lot of them are, especially the ones that got big practices that have got a heap of doctors under them. You know, they're doing good work for the deep state. They are getting looked after. Now, years ago, they used to look after our doctors all the time, and it was the same thing. They were coercing them. You know, I had a local doctor down home, and every year or every 2 years, I think it was, he got a new car. As long as he pushed that particular drug, that company supplied the car for him. You know, now if you and I went and done that out in the street, I'd be put in jail, you know, for fraud. So what are we going to do about it? We got to start right here. As I was saying to you before we started the show, they are coming through your local councils. Okay, so anybody that you have in your council at the moment, excuse me, you need to be really having a good look at. Okay, and your councils aren't going to work because they're corporations. Now, so what Carl's talking about here is another couple of things. I'm not going to go into them, but there is some really good stuff going on in Victoria, right, where they're actually setting up a council, okay, and they're maybe not paying their rates. You're just going to blow it all on me. No, not all of it, but they're not. They're doing some stuff where, you know, and yeah, I'm going to let Carl let it out, but they're actually getting organised, is what I'm saying. Okay, they are getting organised. They've got a great plan that works. Okay, and they're doing it. And we're going to, you know, it's going to happen here in Queensland. It's going to happen in New South Wales. And we're going to start and remove that power that these local councils have got, because that's what they've done. All right, it was the deep state, right? They've implemented anything, our prime ministers, and then they're throwing their little mucking around. Oh, no, the states are doing it. So then the states have got the onus, you know. Now the heat's coming down. All the time they drew it that the local council would be adopting the regulations and the rules to screw you people down. All right, then the onus is off the state, the onus is off the national, okay, and it's down here at the grouse level. Why again? Because they control it, okay? They control everything, okay? And we know they do. Control our courts, they control our fuel industry, they control our food industry, they control every part of our life, and it's just gone on for too long, guys. So, yeah. I'm just here to give you a bit of encouragement, all right? And I think you know that the encouragement is there, and it's well worth it at the moment, because we are winning. Like, these guys are panicking. You know what they're doing worldwide, you know? So we know we've got the upper hand, but we got to get to where the stage of Europe is, where millions of us are just standing up in the city going, you don't want to get to where they are now, okay, before we actually stand up. Okay, because they've already got it implemented. And, you know, this is the great rush that we're in. We need to get it together. We need to stand up. We need to build our communities. You men need to look after your wives, okay? We need to look after everybody in the community. But, men, we need to take a role. Okay, we really do. All right? Because, you know, it's your kids, it's your future, it's your grandkids, okay? And you, as far as I'm concerned, and me, you know, we're responsible. Okay, we can't leave it up to our grandmothers. Our grandmothers are great, mate. They're the most aggressive, horrible people you'll ever meet when you want to hurt their cubs. They're brilliant. Okay, and they're not scared of no cops, I tell you. You know, a lot of the men are scared of the cops. Oh, I don't want to get locked up. You know, these grandmothers don't care. They get locked up every day of the week. Why? Because they know why they're doing it. All right? They're doing it because we're getting taken out, people. Okay, so time to stand. I'll cut off. Carl wants to get going. So, yeah, thanks for having me up here. It's been unreal. I'm going to have a look at the place tomorrow, and I'll be sailing back up here sometime in the future. But, yeah, guys, just want to come up and just, if we can get around to communities like that, just get you motivated to get out, start talking, get to your stand in the parks, get to your A1 meetings, and everyone get together. All right. It's about a community basis now. All right. Is what we need. And then Carl will have some more exciting news for you about what is going on in Victoria and what we can actually, translate that over from state to state to state and start to take our power back, guys. Okay. Because it's ours. Okay. I don't care whether you want to go under a Magna Carta or I don't give a crap about all that. You know where I go to? Genesis. All right, where the good Lord gave me dominion over the earth. That's all I need. He gave it to me. I've never given up the contract. All right, he was the one that gave it to me. Dominion over the earth. Okay, so I have dominion. I don't have to go and tell anyone I got dominion. I got it, and I like to try and stand in it. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you got to do it. Okay, so let's just group up, guys. All right, group up, get your community stuff going, get the barbecues, get the cupcakes, get the scones back out with jam and cream. This is what we need. Seriously, it is what we need. Lamingtons, give them to you. I want cream in them. Okay, but this is what we need, guys. We just need to get back. They've stripped us of all our traditions. All right, all those things that used to happen in family life, they've just bang, 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 taken them. It used to be you can't do this because, and it was probably a legitimate reason. But now it's got we'll tell you what you can do. And everything else is out. So getting ridiculous. Yeah, get your gardens going, get your communities going. All right, guys, so I'm going to sign off. I hope to see some of you around. We'll have a chat here now later, and we probably get some live music. Stretch here, hanging, grab something to eat, mate. So thanks very much, everyone. Let's just get out and win this thing, eh? That's it, simple. And we got to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, mate. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen of Hervey Bay. A quick goodbye. 13 minutes, that wasn't bad. I'll make it a lot shorter. Thanks very much, folks, for any support you can give us. Every dollar you give us goes to put us another kilometre down the road. Essentially, well, a dollar gives us another half a litre, so we can go down the road. We're going to draw some raffles here as soon as I flick the button. Oh, we're not going to draw some raffles? No, well, yeah, in a minute. Once I finish the show. I haven't finished the show yet, Di. Do you want to come on the show? You've already been on the show. You want to talk now with your mouth full? Go on. You were eager to get up here. Anyway, folks, thanks very much. Hervey Bay, wonderful, really beautiful place. Looking forward to the Seafood Festival tomorrow. Going to go and check that out. And if you want a shirt or be part of the auction for the shirt that we're going to put up very soon, and we'll draw a couple of raffles once we get off the air. And I'll tell you what's going on in Victoria. So before I can do that, I need to do that. So everybody can see the way we like to close the show every night with our little...
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's rock!